This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2019 Keystone Springdale fifth wheel travel trailer. And the model number is 300BHFW. Okay, so this is not a floor plan or a sales video. It's a how-to video. I'm just going to show you some of the features and how they work. Okay. Alright, so this is a water spray port. You can plug a hose into here. Okay. You have a refrigerator out here. Surface to prepare food on. You have a quick connect for the LP system right here, so that if you want to add a grill or something like that, you can get the correct grill with the correct hose, and it'll plug right into that fitting there to get gas from the system. Okay. You have power stabilizer here. This is very simple. There's the switch, so on and so forth. Okay. You have power awning with LED strip. This is the service panel for your refrigerator. There's no reason to go in here. This should always be hanging out for condensation to drip out. Okay. That's the vent for the range hood right there. You have outside speaker. TV signal out plus power, and half of a bracket if you wanted to hang a TV out here or just set one out here. You can just plug it in there. So you have your basement pass-through storage here. Alright. Oops. You have a 30-pound LP tank on each side. Okay. Storage underneath in the front here. Here's your control for your front landing gear. The other tank. Okay. Alrighty. So, this is the city water hookup. This is the most common way to get water to the trailer. So you just hook up the city water, turn it on, and all the plumbing will work. Right? If you're camping someplace that does not have city water, you can pre-fill your fresh water tank right here. And after you pre-fill it, you can, drive to whatever campground you're going to stay at, wherever you're going to stay. And then once you get set up, you turn on your water pump, and it'll pump water right from your fresh water tank. So all of the plumbing will work as though you have city water. You'll just be pumping it from the fresh water tank. Of course, if you have city water, you don't have to worry about the tank or the pump at all. All right. So this is just an outside shower. This is your water heater here. Okay. So let's see what we have here. There's a switch here, if you can see that rocker switch. That controls the electric heating element that's behind this cover here. So to run it on gas, you got to turn that to the on position. Never run the water heater without water in the water heater tank. Never run it dry or you'll damage it. So keep that in mind. This is the gas burner. I'll show you, the controls are inside. I'll show you inside where to turn it on inside the trailer. And this is your drain here. It's got an anode rod attached to it, so it does both. It's a drain plug plus an anode rod. Remember what I said though, if you're going to drain it like people do between camping trips, always make sure you put the plug in and then fill the water tank before you turn it on. Okay? Alrighty. So, we have a gray tank here. Dump here. There you have a black valve there. Black is toilet water and waste. Let me back up here. So this is your black tank flush right here. So after you dump your black tank right here, after you dump it, you leave the valve open. Leave the hose hooked up and the valve open, and then you can hook the hose at the dump station onto here, screw down there, turn on the water, and just let it spray out the inside of your tank, your black tank. That way it'll clean it out really well. It'll also clean off the sensors, so you get a good accurate reading from the sensors on the tank and that sort of thing. So if there's a working hose at the dump station, always use that flush. It's a good thing to use, okay? You have a 50 amp system here, so you got a 50 amp shore cord, plus we give you this reducer to reduce it down to a 30, and then we give you another one to reduce it to a 20, just for an emergency. Okay, so here's a second set of valves for the back here, okay? We walk around a little bit here. Okay, so this is campground cable and satellite in. It's pre-wired for a Furrion backup camera kit if you're interested. You can buy them all over the place. We sell them here. Just make sure you get the right kit for that housing. That's the important part. Of course, we talked about your 50 amp shore cord. While we're looking up, remember to inspect your roof on a regular basis. The manufacturer states every 90 days or so. So it's good to take a look up there to see what's happening, just in case there's any damage, you know, to any of the roofing components or roofing material caused by, you know, let's say low branches or things like that. You just stay ahead of any potential problems you're having, okay? That should be part of your regular maintenance. Okay, so the keys are right here. Alrighty. I don't know if he's got the gas turned on or off here, so either way we'll just talk you through it. If it's not on, I'll just talk you past it. So your microwave works like any other microwave. This is a range hood. I showed you the vent on the outside. If you're gonna be running the fan, this fan right here, you want to open that baffle on the outside so it vents freely to the outside. You also have a light there. Of course, your range. Alright, so you have a sparker here. You turn it clockwise to spark. Then you have the 3 knobs here for the 3 burners. And then you have the oven knob here. You also have a light here. Okay, let me see if he's got the gas on. Maybe. Yeah. So it's that simple. You're just going to turn it to the picture of the pilot light and it'll light right up. When it comes to the oven, you're going to do the same thing. You'll go to the picture of the pilot light, but then you're going to depress this and hold it in. There's how would I say? There's a pilot light all at the bottom all the way to the back. You can see it spark back there, okay? So what you're going to do is you go to the picture of the flame, then you depress it. You keep it depressed during the entire lighting procedure. Keep sparking it by turning it clockwise till you see the pilot light and the oven light. Once it lights, you still hold this in for another 10 or 15 seconds to heat up the thermocouple. Then you'll go to operating temperature and run it. When it comes to shut it off, you're going to just turn it off. The flame goes out, of course. So does the pilot light, so you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. Keep that in mind. Also, always travel with this in the down position, otherwise it'll eventually break. Okay. Now, this is your power converter right here. This converts AC to DC power. So you have 120 AC here. On this side, you have regular 120 AC circuit breakers. So when you're plugged into shore power, you have 120 here. This is kind of like your distribution panel here. And like I said, everything's labeled. Then the power is converted to 12 volt DC on this side. So you have 12 volt DC fuses, and they're all labeled. So that's where the 12 volt comes from. It's also a battery tender, so it'll sense how much energy your battery up in the front compartment has and needs, and it'll, as long as you're plugged into shore power, send as many amps necessary to keep your battery charged. So it's a distribution panel, it's a AC to DC power converter, and it's a battery charger, and that's called the power converter. Okay. Alrighty. So let's get back up here. Your refrigerator is a gas absorption refrigerator, which means it runs on 110 AC or 120 AC, and it also runs on LP gas. So, therefore, on and off right here. You turn it on, and then you're going to select the mode you want right there. So you want AU, which means auto. AC auto is what it means. So it automatically selects AC power. So it'll search for it, it'll find the AC power and light. If it can't find the AC power, it'll go to the next through the hierarchy to the LP, and it'll light itself on LP gas, right? Another way to look at it is if you're gone for the day, if you leave early in the morning and you're going out on an all-day adventure, it's a hot day, as soon as you leave the campground it has a power failure, well, it'll sense it. You know, sense that it has no more AC power, and it'll automatically light the refrigerator on LP gas, so you don't spoil your food or anything like that. So auto's the way to go. When you're traveling, you can keep pushing the mode button and light it on LP if you want. This should always be up all the way to the coolest. Just generally speaking, I mean, if you're going out and it's cold outside, it's starting to frost up, well, then you'll back it off. Nine times out of 10, you're going to have it up all the way. All right. Okay, so that's the gas absorption refrigerator. This is just a switch to select the outside speakers and the inside speakers, or both. TV, of course. This is your sound right here. It has AM/FM radio. It has Bluetooth, so you can stream wirelessly. It has a USB drive, so you can, you know, put all your MP3s on a stick and take all your music with you, whatever. You can it also has an HDMI in, so if you wanted to bring along a portable Blu-ray player, for example, you could plug straight into the system right there at the HDMI in. It has two speaker zones, A and B. A is inside the trailer, B is outside the trailer, so it does everything you need, and then some. The TV, let me make sure yeah, this latches into place, but it also has a strap, so always strap it so it doesn't swing around and break something or get broken. Okay, you have two bunks, of course. This is your thermostat here. It's very simple. You always want it on auto, the fan on auto, just leave it there. One click to the right is heat, two clicks to the left is cool, which is full air conditioning. One click to the left is fan, which is just the air conditioner running without the compressor. It just circulates air, right? So make sure when you switch to cool, you're going to have to set your thermostat down so it'll start up, and if you're trying to turn on the heat, you'll go the other way with it. I know that sounds elementary, but you'd be surprised. So that's your analog thermostat. This device down here is your carbon monoxide LP gas detector. You see it's glowing green. It should always be glowing green. If it's not, get it serviced immediately. It's an important safety device, and you shouldn't be running without it working. So, like I said, it'll detect carbon monoxide buildup, LP gas leak, and always make sure it's working. There's also a test button on it. If you don't see the light lit, you can push the test button, and if it doesn't work, go out and get it serviced. It's not expensive. It's something you really have to have. So, okay. All right. So this here, let's see what we've got here. This is a hide-a-bed. So you grab it down here. This folds out into a 3-panel hide-a-bed. This table will drop down. You just push that yellow button to the right, lever to the right, and it'll drop down onto the cleats. Right? You can turn that into a bed. You should really travel it with it in a down position too, because it's heavy, and if you hit the wrong bump, it could potentially break a window or something. But that's up to you, but I would say travel with it down. Okay. Alright, so bathroom. You have a fan, basically. It's self-evident. You have your sink in your toilet. The toilet works like all RV toilets do, in that it sits over a black tank. There's a flush pedal right here, right? So you're just going to put a dose of chemical right in the black tank. You're going to stand on the pedal and hold it down until at least a gallon of water goes into the tank below. It can be more than a gallon, but not less. So you have to have chemical and water in it. If you don't do that, it'll get clogged up. It'll smell super bad. It'll just be a mess. So You always want your chemical and at least a gallon of water in there before you start using it. Okay? Also, let's come this way. I had to scratch my arm here. Something feels like it's biting me here. Okay. Alright, so this is your control panel. So, I talked about your water heater. You can run it on gas and electric. Gas is right here. You can see there's your fault switch. Electric is here. Remember I showed you there's another switch outside for electric. It's in the lower left hand corner. Make sure you turn that on also if you're going to run it. They have the backup switch, the redundant switch, whatever, just so you don't run it without water in the tank. You always need to remember to fill it up. The water pump, we talked about pumping water from the fresh water tank. If you don't have city water, that's what you would use this for. Also, that's used to winterize the trailer. Alright, your lights, awning lights, your inside lights, your awning, retract and extend. I don't know if I can get it so you can see it here. Never leave the awning out unattended. If you're not going to be at the campsite, roll it in, of course. Alrighty. So there you have that. Always roll it in when you're not going to be at the campsite. Your slide rooms here, right? Then you have your battery, which is charged. Your fresh water has water in it. Black 1, 2. We're still prepping the trailer. So you have a galley tank and one gray tank. So 2 black and 2 gray, I believe, is what this has. So okay, and those are the buttons to check the level. You see the levels up here, graduates up in 1/3 increments, so that's where you check that. Toilet's the same way as the other one. A dose of chemical and at least a gallon of water before you start using it. Alrighty. You have a GFCI here. Keep in mind that every plug in the trailer, including the one on the outside, is wired through a GFCI. So even if it's not a physical GFCI you're plugging into, it's still wired through one of these GFCIs. So if you're using something outside that pops, you're still going to reset it here. So if you can't get, something's happened and you can't get AC power, check your GFCIs and make sure they haven't tripped. Okay. This is your shower, obviously. It clips together like this. Okay. This is your wardrobe slide, like so, just for storage. Now this is a 50 amp system. The reason it's 50 amp system is because it's pre-wired for a second air conditioner. That would be right here. The air conditioner would fit right in that hole carved out for the vent. You just would remove the vent and put the AC in there. So if you're ever interested, we can add a second air conditioner from you. It's pre-wired for that. So, okay. Little bit of storage underneath the bed. Let me come around here. Oops, let's go this way. Okay. So you have a mount here for a TV. And there's your hookups there, okay. An emergency window, it works like they all do. You just push it through, all the way through. Then you grab a hold of that tab and pull the screen out and you can escape in an emergency. Okay. Like I said, it's pre-wired for a second air conditioner if you want to add it there. Alrighty. I think that about covers it. Let me look around here. Make sure I didn't miss anything. I think we've got it. Okay. The literature that comes with it, all your manuals and for the components and those sort of things are in there. Okay. Okay, so I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember to inspect your roof. That's important. Also, this trailer is in camping mode, so all the antifreeze has been purged from the system and replaced with fresh water. Your freshwater tank is full right now. The valves on the back. Remember, the tank has bypass valves on the back. If you haven't owned a trailer before, you'll have to learn about that. But that's how you winterize it. Your valves are in camping position, and your water tank has water in it, so it's all set to camp till the end of the summer. Okay. Okay. So if you have any other questions when you pick up, we'll go through it with you, and thank you very much. Okay.